Looking at a previous catch of a big ope on board the Horizon, but today it's congratulations to Kevin Patch because he was on board the Pacifica and caught this big, beautiful opa. They feed from the surface to as deep as 1,600 feet. They love to eat squid, and there's a lot of that around right now. They're the only known warm-blooded fish, and they can swim up to 50 miles an hour. They don't mind hanging out with tuna and billfish. Sport fishing with Toro reporting improving yellowtail action on 15 to 30-pound yellowtail biting on the surface iron today. One fish weighed 41 pounds. They also had an 80-pound black sea bass that they released. White sea bass fishing tailing off a little bit, but there's a few around. And halibut fishing still pretty darn
Please don't forget to support the Friedman Adventurers family members who make this all possible, like the taxman, Tim Marquez, and your garage door man, Joe Welker, who does a great job and gets rave reviews here at Friedman Adventures. Heating and or air conditioning needs, it's our dear friend John Lopez, and also the Island Spirit, Ventura Sport Fishing. You can't beat it. Chris Isaac and the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, www.longbeachsportfishing.org. And don't forget the Bluefin are chewing on the poppers. Get the very best TunaRiot.com. Good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. It is so great to be with you all. Good morning to all my friends down here who make this beach so beautiful. And is it a gorgeous summer morning here today? Boy, we've got a lot to talk about south of the border. There's some really outstanding fishing, and our bluefin tuna bite has been absolutely fantastic with daytime and nighttime bites that'll knock your eye teeth out. It's been fantastic. However, as most of you know who tune into Friedman Adventures, there's some wind coming. It's starting to arrive. It'll really blow tomorrow. And in fact, it's going to make that outside zone, Tanner Cortez, even up there towards San Nicolas Island, where the Searcher has been here recently, unfishable. We'll get into that with a lot more detail. Also, we'll go up to the Channel Islands and check on our white sea bass and halibut fishing. It's been the best year that any of us can ever remember up there for those species and so much more. We'll cover the Southern California surf fishing bite. We'll talk about the sand bass, and we'll cover lots more for you. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, what a Wednesday morning. And thank you so much for your great support. We deeply appreciate all you do for us. Daniel Hadaway is out on this halibut special on the Island Spirit. He had one reservation. We did a live interview, got out with 26 people this morning. Daniel, good luck to you. Travis is on board that trip, and so many other great Friedman Adventure family members. Have a great trip. Catch lots of halibut. Can't wait to see all the photos. If you don't mind, hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. Also, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel and tick that rotten, filthy, I don't know what I have against the bell, but it is rotten. It is filthy. It's disgusting. Man, this water is warm. Disgusting little bell. And you'll be notified when there's new content. You'll know ahead of everybody when they are biting. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Great to be with you all. Let's go down to Cedros, where the white sea bass fishing has been incredible, along with halibut. That's backed off, at least the white sea bass. There's still a good chance and opportunity for a white sea bass. But yesterday, we had the yellows really start to bite. Cedros Sport Fishing with Toro had excellent limit-style yellowtail fishing yesterday. Most of it on the surface, and really great fishing. There's still quite a few halibut, albeit smaller fish right now. That's not to say that you can't go to Cedros and pop off a big halibut or a big sea bass, but most of the catch right now seems to be on smaller grade. But it's good to see the yellows firing up because they've been off a little bit this year, and Cedros will continue to watch that for you very, very closely. Excellent fishing in San Quintin in that area, 140 miles below the border, where the yellowtail bite has been fantastic. And we see wheelbarrows of a variety of different fish being taken down there here recently. It has been fantastic for tiburon pongas. They've been doing good. That's Chief Low Flores with a mix of barracuda, good yellowtail, rockfish, you name it, they've been catching it. And our friends in Baja, up there a little bit closer to the border in the beautiful coastal town of Ensenada, have been catching bluefin tuna. As you can see, some really excellent BFT fishing going on. And the poppers, we introduce you to the Tuna Riot. Poppers are working great when you're rolling up on a foamer, not only for the Ensenada boys, but also for the San Diego guys. Pacific Voyager's been tossing poppers here recently. Tuna Riot. Poppers gets them today. They're so well constructed and they get better. There's also in Ensenada, besides the bluefin tuna, some really good barracuda action going on down there. There's the occasional yellowtail around the islands and down south a little bit. And then kelp patty yellowtail are also a thing. And then plenty of rockfish also in that neck of the woods. Ensenada really going well. We are loving what we are seeing. Let's talk islands, then we're going to get into our bluefin tuna bite. Then we're going to talk about that wind, when it's going to manifest, how long it's going to last, what will it do to the bite. We're going to talk about all that. Will it reduce water temperature, shut this thing off? Will it move fish around? We'll talk a little bit about that in just a moment. Coronado Islands. Yesterday, the Mission Belle had 7 yellowtail. It was a tougher bite, no doubt about it. They saw the fish, but trying to get them to bite was another thing. Now, they've had some excellent scores here recently, so would not surprise me to see them pop off a good one here today. We'll see what indeed happens. And then that breeze, that wind is going to affect the islands also. Not as dramatically as offshore, but it's going to get a little breezy in there tomorrow, no doubt about that. Yellows on the surface side. There's been fish on the yo-yo island. There's been fish on bait. Hopefully that's going to get going again. Mission Belle topped up with some nice rockfish. San Clemente Island on the backside, dropper looping with squid. Still very effective way to catch the big yellows, maybe a sea bass and or a halibut. May not be a ton, but there's some really good fish there. Big quality yellowtail. Looks like Guadalupe Island style fish. On the front side of Clemente, we're picking off some bass. Pretty darn good calico bass fishing. And there's yellows there also. Some of them are smaller, it seems like. Every once in a while, you catch a bigger one, but you chase around bird schools of yellows on the front. And then, of course, plenty of rockfish there. Catalina Island, the El Patron goes every single morning out of Long Beach for fishing. Good variety of fish and pretty good action. A lot of bass, a lot of shorts, a lot of fish return, barracuda. There's an occasional yellowtail being taken over there at Catalina Island. You can also top off with some blue perch and rockfish. Good variety there, not wide open, but decent. www.longbeachsportfishing.org if you'd like to get on board the El Patron, and who wouldn't want to do that? We take you up and get you into the Channel Islands where that bite has backed off also. We haven't seen the huge numbers of white sea bass and or halibut here recently, but they're still scratching at it. And the thing about the Channel Islands is they always have in their arsenal tremendous rockfish to back up every single thing they do. And with that, man, I'm telling you right now, they have been putting the wood to the lings, to the vermilions, to the boccaccio. It's been really great fishing up there for the bottom grabbers. Let's take a look and see what else they had. The Aloha Spirit with a halibut and a couple of yellowtail. I'm just mentioning the exotics. You can top on there, whitefish, sheephead, rockfish. They had a lot of that going on. Gentlemen had limits of calico bass. The coastal region's been biting. The gray light had 3 halibut, 5 white sea bass, mirage 2 halibut, 6 white sea bass. There's still the occasional limit style sea bass catch. I don't think it's over yet. It's going to keep going. There's so much squid here in the local environment that it makes all the difference in the world. Let me tell you, I'm loving how much squid there's, because it not only bodes well for this year, but it bodes well for the coming season. I know it's a little early to talk about that, but that's exactly how I feel about it. Kevin Patch on the Pacifica with a beautiful opa. Those fish are so mysterious, enigmatic. They can feed as deep as 1,600 feet. They love to munch on squid. That's another good reason why I think we'll catch a few more opa this year. That was a nice one for him on board the Pacific. The bluefin tuna fishing has been fantastic, and there are several different zones to talk about. I mean, more than several, but let's just name a few. Some of the long-range boats are down 200 plus miles. They're on Yellowfin with mixed bluefin down there. We get you up to the San Quintin area. And our dear friend Jeff Lingle, who runs a yacht, he's been down there here recently. He's been catching bluefin down there 140 miles below the border. We've seen good fish. There's also a few yellowfin tuna down there, an occasional dorado. Really excellent fishing for Jeff. On his last trip, he had 3 over 100 pounds, bluefin, that is, limits of BFT. And then he went in on the beach and smeared the yellows to go along with it. Then we get you up, and there's 1 day fish available right now. In other words, you can get on an overnight trip. You can get on a trip that leaves in the morning and comes back and catch bluefin tuna, no doubt about it, like maybe 45, 50 miles from Point Loma, some a little bit closer than that. And then we have fish on the backside of San Clemente Island, west of there, out there around San Nicolas Island, out on Tanner and Cortez. There's a good spread to this thing, and that bodes well for the coming future, not the immediate future, as I'll tell you here in just a moment. Tribute's had absolutely lights out fishing here recently. They've been doing fantastic. Chuck Zimmer from Z Custom Rods. Z Custom Rods. He's been doing great on the Searcher, having a really great time. They were daytime fishing yesterday, and Chuck said, man, I cannot get a bite on 40. I'm going to drop down to 30-pound fluorocarbon and fly line a bait and see what happens. And bam, nice 50-pound BFT for Chuck last night. The bite started about 9 p.m. and went on till about 2 this morning on board the Searcher. Today, the Searcher's off, taking a look around and trying to catch some kelp patty yellowtail. Chuck's having a really fun trip, no doubt about that. How about Max Nui and the Pacific Voyager? You gotta love those guys, cranking out limits of bluefin tuna 4 trips in a row and having an absolute ball fishing the popper on those foamers. Tuna Riot popper jigs work so good. It has been fantastic. And on board the Pacific Voyager, they've had fish in the 60 to 150 pound class on their last trip, with the vast majority in the 60 to 80, 90 pound range. Just a beautiful grade of bluefin tuna. In many cases, you're going to drop your hook size down. Depends on what you get for bait. There's a mix of sardine and anchovy right now. So if you get the chovy, you're going to have to fish lighter and drop down to a number 4, even number 2 circle hook, something like that. With the sardine, you can fish a little bit heavier. Grande, 40 guys yesterday. Scott Buchert on board, doing a great job supplying me with information. Scott's back on his game again. It must have been that shirt I put on Tackle Shop Confessions the other night. And Scott telling me that choosing a good hot bait and making sure you drop that fluorocarbon down makes a big difference. Grande's out with Scott again here this morning. We're wishing them all the very best of luck. The Freedom out of 22nd Street, landing 17 guys, to give you an example of what is going on here and how far up north landings have this bite accessible to them. Yeah, they had a nice trip with limits of bluefin tuna. Daytime fish, smaller grade for the most part, 15 to 25 pounds, but mixed in with an occasional big fish. The El Dorado out of Long Beach fishing. What a recent trip they had. Just a mix of fish, bluefin, white sea bass, yellowtail, barracuda, you name it. It seems like the El Dorado had it on their last trip. Really great stuff going on. Let's get to the wind and the weather, because it's going to hoot starting tonight, and tomorrow's going to be probably unfishable. Looks like it is. And this wind, depending upon where you find yourself, is going to go till Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there's going to be some windows of opportunity in there, but overall, it's going to be breezy. It's going to be different. You know, it's hard to give you the whole thing, but up north toward the Channel Islands, it's going to be very, very breezy up there in that neck of the woods. Offshore, 60, 70, 80 miles, it's going to be nasty. It's even going to get breezy in here along the coast on Thursday, and this extends all the way down to Ensenada and below. It is just going to plain blow here tomorrow, Thursday. So I'm not sure how much we'll get accomplished. You know, you just never know. Every once in a while you get that kind of weather, and one of those big long-range boys will tough it out, fish the heavier jigs at night, 500, 600, 800 gram. It's going to be really windy. And to stay vertical, you're going to need something like that if they even are able to fish it. I don't think so for tomorrow, but I hope I am proved wrong on that one. We mentioned a moment ago what effect this might have on the bite. This is pure conjecture, pure speculation. I don't think it's going to do anything to our bite, but a reduction in water temperature can move fish around. It can also give them lockjaw. So sometimes you'll see the immediate after effects there, that fish kind of gets lockjaw or it moves and then the fleet has to find him. We have a fleet in Southern California that is as good as it gets in terms of locating fish. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. B, I've seen this kind of thing here over the past few years, and it just doesn't seem to affect the bluefin tuna. They'll continue to bite. That nighttime fish, I think, will continue to bite. Whether it moves or not, we'll have to see. It made a pretty big move yesterday. I know the Thunderbird was looking around, finally got on it again out of Davies Locker at Newport Beach. So we'll just have to say how this all plays out. And of course, we'll be watching it for you very, very closely. Taking a look at the Southern California 1/2 and 3/4 day trips here. We want to look down to San Diego. Calico bass and sand bass fishing have been outstanding this year. It seemed a little bit scratchier overall in SoCal yesterday, with the twilight fishing really, really good. That is not to say, though, that some of the San Diego guys still limited out on sand bass. And the guys fishing the Point Loma kelp in that 70-degree water are picking away at the calico bass. Many days catching limits of CBs, with a few yellows running around also up there around Dana Wharf. Lots of calicos, a lot of shorts, and also we continue to see some really good fishing for the Davies Locker-based boats. The freelance seem to have a better bite at night than the daytime on the sand bass. And here in the LA Orange County area, similar kind of situations where we have seen some fairly decent sand bass fishing in the daytime. It's been lights out for a long time. It's just sputtering here, and it could be very temporary. And then at night, it bites pretty darn well. A reminder to you all that you can get on the El Patron. I did it just the other night for a twilight trip, and it was so much fun. We had limits of sand bass. Absolutely great fishing on the El Patron. They go every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. www.longbeachsportfishing.org. Get on the El Patron and have yourself a really good time. We also see some decent fishing up there in Marina del Rey and Redondo. A little bit of bass up there. They can top off with rockfish if they have to, and they have an occasional nice exotic sea bass, and maybe a yellowtail, or maybe some nice halibut. And up there, a little bit further north, Avila Beach, Morro Bay, great rock fishing going on there. Monterey, a lot of lingcod. San Francisco, lovely. Martha, sport fishing, limits of striped bass, and they're also catching quite a few halibut up in that neck of the woods. Taking a look at the Southern California surf. Big fish, bait, and tackle right down there on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. They got all the bait you'll need, and they got all the tackle. They are, of course, Southern California's surf fishing headquarters. They also have everything you need for bluefin and marlin and white sea bass, yellowtail. They've got it all. Big fish, bait, and tackle in Seal Beach. Down around the Huntington Beach Pier, we see sand crabs still there around the pier, producing some nice corbina here over the last few days. There's also a little bit of yellowfin croaker. We never saw that wide open YFC bite here. I'm wondering if that's still in the offing. It seems like things are a little bit late this year, including the weather. You know, you have a weather scenario like this in July where it's been cooler than normal. At least that's how I feel it's been. You get a really warm fall usually. So we might be looking down the barrel of not only a warm fall, but some really accelerating fishing. And it's been a great year, hasn't it? Already up there around Long Beach, a few halibut and the Santa Monica Bay, some corvina around Topaz Rock Jetty. Excellent fishing between the Hermosa and Manhattan Beach Pier for corvina at times around the high tide has been best of all. And up around Ventura, some good barred perch fishing going on. Jeff Perea was up there in Ventura recently and had a few nice barred perch. All right, my friends, I don't know what to tell you. It's another beautiful day. Wishing Daniel Hottaway and his 26 anglers a great day on board the Island Spirit today. I can't thank you all enough for all you do for Friedman Adventures. Millions of views the past 28 days. Really, really, really humbled. Really, really, really grateful. I visited with our dear friend Bob Gifford. Mackie came along with me yesterday, and Bob sends out all of his thanks for all the love you are showing him during this very, very difficult time. Bob is very, very, very ill right now. It was good to reminisce about catching some rock cod up in the bow. I think it was the Apollo. And I normally don't get to fish because I'm shooting video all the time, but I absolutely love cod fishing. I was up there with Bob, and one of us would drop, the other guy would run for bait, then one of us would hang the fish, the other guy would reel it in, and we just kept going like that over and over and over again. And man, that was so much fun. Really good to reminisce with Bob. And I got to tell you, what lifted his spirits more than anything was I ran out to the car and I put on the Scott Buchert shirt. Charlie, that shirt has come in so handy already. My wife cracked up when she saw it. She wanted to order one right away, but I put that on and went in, and Gifford's eyes were like, and the smile on his face, it was absolutely awesome. Mackie will attest to that. All right, my friends, have a great one. Love you all very, very much, and I hope to see you really, really soon.